What's up, folks? We have got an impromptu matchup. This was conceived just a few minutes ago. We have a ZVT between the green Zerg yellowjellow and his pink turn opponent bbreed. So yellowjellow was talking shit about coffee pods. So bbreed having to defend his honor, if you will. I don't know if that's honor. Told him to pull up, and here we are. Now historically, bbreed very dominant in this matchup. Yellowjellow has always struggled against bbreed. We'll see if he's got anything up his sleeve, and it looks like yes. He's going for his first expansion over at the gold. Now this can obviously pay off if he's able to mine from these gold minerals for some time, but it's very far to reinforce, and of course this terrain is very easily abusable, as we all know. Terrain OP. bbreed going for a Reaper first, and it looks like he's going to drop his command center. There it goes. Now yellowjellow's spawning pool is at a pretty normal time, so he should be able to get lings and queens on time to defend against this Reaper. I don't expect to see too much damage out of that Reaper. First queen already on her way, and a pair of Zerglings as well. Now this Reaper gonna be making its way across the map, but it's gonna get slowed down by those slow zones, and of course this other one here, which is gonna give more time for the Zerglings and queen to come out. And the Zerglings are ready, but they are rallied elsewhere, so this Reaper finding one drone already. No drone micro out of yellowjellow. Okay, there we go. Putting down a spore and an extractor. So only losing one drone so far. That's not the end of the world. Obviously, you would ideally like to not lose any. But yellowjellow doing a good job mitigating the damage there. Gonna be able to repel that Reaper. And bbreed has no idea about the hidden gold base. So as far as he knows, it's some kind of one base shenanigans. So maybe he's feeling a little scared, gonna be dropping down a bunker. And these two lings, slow lings mind you, gonna try to nibble away, see what damage they can do. They do have speed now, just finished, and they're gonna get one SCV, might even get a second one. So those are two very good lings. Gets the full scout of the main as well. Gets another SCV. That should absolutely not happen. Where did the Reaper go? There it is. And gonna finally be able to clean those lings up. But 3 SCVs, that is super worth it. Not sure what those two lings were doing. They saw the success that the initial two had and wanted to ride their coattails, but could not. Another 4 chilling on the outside, and ooh, bunch of lings just finished up by yellowjellow. He's getting his baneling nest. Looks like he's gonna go for some kind of baneling bust. He does have quite a booming economy. What is going on here? 3 drones. They wanted to be lings, and I see this a lot out of yellowjellow. Misrallying his drones, bit of a mistake there. And he's morphing his banelings, gonna go for a baneling bust. Now, in the past, yellowjellow's baneling busts have been, how do I put this kindly, trash. They have been trash. Look at this. How are you gonna go in with 2 banelings? And what is you doing, boy? Now he's going to finally go back in with the rest of them. So he does get that bunker, but he has nothing to follow up. Some more Lings rallying back, but now he's giving bbreed time to rebuild the wall, and once again, this is a contender for worst Baneling bust of all time. Now, I don't think it's going to take home the trophy. I have seen worse out of this guy, yellowjellow, but it might be top 10, not going to lie. And now he tries to run in with the Lings once again, but not going to get any damage done as the Hellions, Marines, and Marauder able to fend those off for now. So once again, a failed aggression out of yellowjellow, but he is on 3 bases now, layer on the way. He's getting his gases up, going up to 6 gas. Now, if we've learned anything from Kevin Lee, that definitely implies mutas. And let's see if that is indeed yellowjellow's tech of choice. And there it goes. How do I make this center onto the spire? Where is that? All right, there it goes. There is the spire going down. And bbreed, well, aside from losing those 3 SCVs to 2 Zerglings, he's been mostly untouched. Baneling bust did absolutely nothing. So he is working up to his usual timing attack. But it has been delayed just slightly, and that might be all it takes for yellowjellow to be able to secure himself into this game. Spire is about 3/4 of the way done, and we still don't see the armory. There it is, but only about 1/3 of the way complete. So like I said, that little bit of damage from yellowjellow kind of set this attack behind. It's already 7.5 minutes in, and bbreed has not moved out yet. And now yellowjellow, he's got a bunch of Lings and a couple Banelings. His spire is done, 9 Mutalisks on the way. 4th base going down as well. Gonna work on those rocks, and now bbreed finally moving out. The mutas are ready, and they might be rallied in an awkward spot. Gonna kind of fly into the army. This is not ideal for yellowjellow, kind of just running everything in willy-nilly. Gonna lose almost all his Zerglings. Mutas fighting the Marines, that's not a good idea. Down to, what is that, 6 mutas remaining. And once again, gonna fly into Marines. What is going on? You had such a solid position, I think, but kind of taking a fight that you did not need to take, losing a bunch of mutas, and now all of a sudden things are getting dicey. And also yellowjellow with his gold base does not know what to do with all his minerals. He definitely could have used a macro hatchery a few minutes ago. Now bbreed has shown up at his door. Mutas fighting Marines, that is never a good idea. Zerglings trickling into their deaths, and oh my, this is gonna be a bbreed victory once again. He's going down, and yellowjellow with some atrocious control. Gonna be losing this game number 1 on Blackburn. GG. Alright folks, we are loaded into game number 2 between our green Zerg yellowjellow. And this time in the yellow, Mr. bbreed. A pretty rough game 1 out of our Zerg player. It looked like he had all the tools necessary to win that game. He took an early gold that went unpunished. He had the economy. Despite the failed baneling bust, he was mining enough and should have been able to stabilize. He was getting his mutas, but then went for a very unnecessary fight in the middle of the map. Lost everything, and yeah, just snowballed from there. Game number 2, gonna be resetting. Let's see if he'll manage to put himself on the board. I'm gonna go for an early expand at a normal location. Of course, there are no gold bases on this map, which is Death Aura, one of the older maps in the map pool. Now there are these rich Vespine maps, but very in the middle of nowhere, hard to hold, so I probably won't see them come into play until the late game. bbreed gonna be opening up with a Reaper once again, and he was able to get a drone kill last game, and that's already excellent damage from the Reaper. Of course, he did take some losses of his own to just a couple lings. Gonna have to be careful of that this time around. The Reaper is on his way, but so are the queens and a single pair of zerglings. We'll see how much damage this guy is gonna be able to do. Behind this, command center going down, and barracks and factory reactor, so pretty standard out of bbreed as he starts blasting away at the drones. Does get one already, so nice job there, but uh-oh, gonna get picked off, that Reaper. Oh no, not sure why he went that way on the creep. When he has jetpacks, he could have just hopped off the ledge. Kind of an odd choice there, losing that Reaper. So one Reaper for one drone, kind of an even trade. I think it favors the Zerg just a little bit. And bbreed gonna be, looks like, going his standard build. Hellions coming out 2 at a time. And now once again, these 2 initial lings gonna be annoying. Gonna go for that tech lab. Not sure about that. Might have been able to get an SCV if it went in, but goes for the little nibbles on the tech lab instead. And they do get cleaned up. This Marine with 2 kills. Now Stimpack is on the way. And bbreed, okay, a bit slow on those additional Hellions, but is continuing to produce Hellions, and not sure what the purpose of that was, putting his barracks there, and kind of a weird move there. He had the wall, I think, and I really don't know what that was all about. He wanted to go for the supply depot wall. He lifts up again, puts another reactor. I don't know what's going on with this wall, but alright, it looks like it is finally tight. And yellowjellow going for some aggression once again. 16 lings on the way. His Roach Warren about halfway done. And again, I don't understand why yellowjellow goes for these attacks. This is gonna be just lings for now, and not really gonna find too much damage, I don't think. There's just too much Terran behind this wall, and losing some Zerglings, gonna be forced to run back home, so weird choice by yellowjellow, as he's lost 16 Zerglings and 1 drone so far. bbreed losing a little bit of everything, but still in a better spot than the Zerg. Now the Zerg is going for his lair, and did he cancel that roach warren? Yeah, it looks like he did cancel that roach warren, so we're gonna be saving that money, getting a bunch of gases once again, and going for the spire. So maybe he has seen the success that Kevin Lee has had with his mutas and trying to do the same thing. But these mutas gonna be a little slow, and it's already 6 minutes into the game. That means bbreed is going to be moving out very shortly, and right on cue he is on the move. And this is a rough spot for yellowjellow, and once again he has 0 map vision. As a Zerg player, you have free overlords which can spot around the map, and that will give you a heads up. You can start making army. And now this is going to be a dicey hold, as we all know this build out of bbreed is very deadly. But I like the patience from yellowjellow this time around, not running in head first, gonna wait for the baneling's speed to complete before he goes, and he does go. Gets some nice baneling hits, but now the banelings are gone, the Terran is still around, and the spire has completed, but I don't think mutas are what you need in this position. 6 mutas, not really going to be too helpful against all these marines and widow mines. So bbreed going to be moving on into the third, gets a free muta there, and yellowjellow going to think about attacking with the mutas. That's not a good idea, going to lose all of them. Some banelings going in for some nice shots, so actually that might be just what he needed to clean this up. Let's clean up most of the marines. Eats another widow mine shot there. Gotta be careful, there are more widow mines. Okay, good job avoiding that one. But now these two are off cooldown. Gotta be more careful. That widow mine shot hits the overseer. That one as well. So, okay. Gonna be able to defend, I suppose. He did lose 12 drones. I guess one of them was from the early game, so 11 to that attack. And now he has mutas, which can... what can they do? They can get at least this supply depot. Some missile turrets gonna go down. That should help. But the hard part is over. Yellowjellow has held off that Zerg killer build, and he's in a pretty good spot now. 52 drones to 36 SCVs. He's got a good amount of mutas, 16 mutas, and that's enough to dive on missile turrets. Maybe not 2 together like that, but could find some good damage here, and more importantly, he is going to be able to lock bbreed down on 2 bases. It's going to be very, very difficult for bbreed to expand anytime soon. Some widow mines set up in a very scary position. Units are going to have to be careful there. And this one drone, what is he doing? Once again, yellowjellow with the weird rallies on his drones. Gonna pick off that missile turret very quickly, but bbreed has a Thor. Thor is here! And Thors are the natural predator of mutas. with their splash damage, they can absolutely devastate a Mutaflock very easily. But 22 Mutas, that's a lot of Mutas. And they are continuing to be annoying, flying around, utilizing their mobility. bbreed with a lot of Marines. That's a scary number of Marines. 29 Marines. So they're going to be able to put the fear of God into these Mutas, but yellowjellow morphing a bunch of banelings. Of course, banelings, the natural predator of Marines, and bbreed with a weird worker rally of his own. And hold that thought, Mutas flying into the natural, gonna try to get some damage. Gotta avoid those Marines, gotta be careful, and uh-oh, Thor in the main. And only 3 SCVs have gone down to these Mutas. 4 now, 5 now. But he has lost a lot of Mutas. He was at 22, now he is at 12. Now, I'm no mathematician, but I think that sounds like he lost 10. Takes another Widowmine hit, loses another Mutalisk. But he is gonna delay this third. Might even get a cancel. I don't think you can stick around there. Go for that missile turret. Does get it, but now there are only 11 Mutas, and well, there's only 6 here, so there's some back at home. I don't know. They're somewhere. Oh, they're in production. Okay. But nice Lingbane army out of yellowjellow. And what are the upgrades? Only 1/1 for ground Zerg. And +2 weapons for infantry, as well as +1 vehicle weapons. So upgrade's gonna slightly favor the Terran player at the moment. But of course he has been stuck on 2 bases for a very long time. Only now, wait, has not completed that third yet. And Muta's gonna fly in once again. I think they could have gotten that Thor actually, but no, doesn't decide to go for it. And uh-oh, miscontrol by yellowjellow. Gonna lose a bunch of Mutas for free. And you cannot afford to do that against bbreed, who is a very formidable Terran versus Zerg player. And oh my goodness, look at this amount of Lingbane. This is going to be very difficult for bbreed to deal with, and it doesn't look like he has much splash damage. What happened to all the Widowmines? We don't see any tanks either, so he's going to be very susceptible to Lingbane attack. But it's all going to come down to the engagement. yellowjellow cannot run in head first from one angle. Well, actually, hold that thought. He's kind of trapped bbreed, so most of the Marines going to go down. The Thor's going to go down, and that is bad news bears for the Terran player. Now he's forced to evacuate. Gonna regroup with this one Thor and a few more bio units, but this is way too much Zerg. That is just overrunning the Terran army. It's turned down to 62 supply, and if yellowjellow just goes for the counter attack, I think he could just end this game. Doesn't even need to, as bbreed types out GG. So we are tied up 1 apiece. Welcome back, folks. We are tied up 1-1. This is going to be game number 3 between our green Zerg, yellowjellow, and the yellow Terran, bbreed. There we go. So nice hold in that game from yellowjellow, fending off that bbreed special, and then going for the mutas, which just bought him so much time, and of course contained bbreed on 2 bases for practically the whole game. Able to get himself a formidable Lingbane army and just swarmed all over the Terran player. Very nicely done by yellowjellow. Game number 3 gonna be looking very similar. Hatchery first, into an extractor, into a spawning pool very shortly, and bbreed gonna be doing the same thing once again. You can't really vary too much in the early game out of Terran. You always have to start with a supply depot and barracks. But what comes next is where things can deviate. We do see bbreed only on 1 gas, so don't think we're going to see any factory rush into starport. Going to be throwing down his command center now. Reaper is almost done. We'll see if he's going to get a drone kill this game. He was able to last 2 games. Now the Reaper gonna be making its way across the map with its jetpacks. Gonna hop on into the main base of the Zerg. And let's see how both players' control is. Okay, not the best control out of the Zerg. Loses 1 drone very quickly. And now the Queen is out. This Reaper cannot really stick around too much longer, and he is going to get out of there. But hey, 1 drone kill once again, gets out with his life, and that is very, very worth it. Unless, of course, you are too focused on the micro and neglect the macro a little bit, floating decent amount of minerals back at home. Now this 1 Reaper, uh-oh, gets into a bit of a tussle with that Queen. Does get away barely, so. And it looks like he did get another 2 kills. Must have missed that. I think those were probably Zerglings. Indeed. So 1 drone, 2 Zerglings. That's fantastic damage. And of course he stays alive, so can be used for a scout later on. Yellowjellow, seemingly unfazed, going for a bunch more drones, getting his baneling nest, so I wonder if, oh, it starts up 8 Zerglings. I really hope we don't see another baneling bust attempt. bbreed, gonna be getting his starport, getting a medevac, tech labs on his barracks, which are most certainly going to be for stim packs and combat shield. Engineering bay done as well, going for an early +1 attack. I don't think bbreed has done this too often in the past. Maybe this is a new variation of the attack, going for +1 timing, perhaps. So maybe evolving. And that Reaper did run back in for a scout. Did lose its life, but the spot, the layer timing, and the double gases in the natural as well. So maybe he can suspect some sort of Muta play once again. As the armory is going down, which allows the Widow Mines to be visible underground even after they fire, and it also enables Hellions to turn into Hellbats. And we do see the Spire getting thrown down once again. bbreed, indeed aware of it, he is putting down missile turrets. Looks like the Scouting Overlord flies in, spots just about everything. So both players should have a pretty good idea of what the other is up to. bbreed, his +1 is almost done. For the crispest timing, you kind of want to move out right when it's done. But it doesn't look like he is. And now yellowjellow is getting a fair amount of Zerglings. But what is his map vision? Once again, practically non-existent. So bbreed gonna be moving out now, and yellowjellow once again has no idea. He's making 7 mutas, which are not gonna be the most impactful in this fight against so many Marines. And don't forget they have +1 attack, Stimpack, and combat shields seconds away from finishing. And yellowjellow, his 1-1 almost done as well. And these mutas fly right over the Marines. Oh my god, that was pretty lucky. But bbreed going for the fight now. Gonna get a bunch of Zerglings for free. And these Widow Mines in a very scary position. You cannot really engage, as anything that runs around here can get hit. And that means this third is absolutely ripe for the picking. yellowjellow dancing around with this Muta is gonna get hit with a couple Widow Mine shots. Some Zerglings get picked off as well. 19 drones have gone down. This third is gonna go down. Mutas trying to be heroes. Gonna lose a bunch of those as well. And yellowjellow decides this is the time to go, and gonna eat a bunch of Widow Mine shots, but does clean up the Widow Mines and most of the Terran army. And I don't really think bbreed can stick around too much longer, and he does lose almost the rest of his army. But the game is not over. Despite all the losses, yellowjellow is still alive. He's at 63 supplies, still 50 workers, so the game is going to continue, and we are going to transition into a later game. bbreed going to be going for his third. Going to be getting his armor upgrade for his bio units. And is there going to be any sort of transition? Doesn't look like it. Oh, Thor's going to be mixed in. And yellowjellow, he is trying to stabilize on this new third base. It was going to be his fourth, but now is his third, as he has to remake his third, which is going to be his fourth. And getting up mutas once again. He is back up to 8. Let's take a look at the units lost. So yeah, losses definitely a bit more significant over on the side of the Zerg. 20 drones have gone down, 7 mutas, 68 Zerglings. So Pretty heavy casualties from the Zerg, but he does have 4 bases now, so he's going to be able to afford that. The Muta is going to fly in, see what damage they can do. Some Marines in position to push that back, and I think he did lose 1 Muta there. And just going to be rotating around, see if they can find any damage at the 3rd. Doesn't look like that's going to be too likely. Gonna have to be careful. These Marines in position to intercept, and oh, they do get all the mutas. Well, those 2 were reinforcing, so they don't count. But looks like only 2 mutas left on the map right now. 3 more in production, which will put it up to 5. 5 mutas. That's not a lot of mutas. And bbreed going for another attack now. He has 1-1, so does the Zerg, so upgrade's gonna be even. But that's a lot of Marines, and he's got to avoid these Banelings. Uh-oh, let's see if bbreed can split. Okay. Decent control from bbreed, and yellowjellow with nothing left. Forced to tap out, and bbreed gonna be up 2-1. Alright, welcome back folks. This is game number 4 between these 2 players. It is once again the green Zerg, yellowjellow. And this time in the pink bbreed. Bbreed sending an early SCV. Is this gonna be for something cheeky, or is this just a scout? And he's kind of in an odd path, so I do suspect something a little cheeky. Second SCV going out as well. Looks like it's going to be a double proxy racks out of our Terran player. And from the side of the Zerg, looks like pretty standard. Going to be going for a hatchery first once again. And where's this Overlord going? Looks like he's just going to be chilling outside, so not going to get that scout. 2 barracks going down at the 3rd location of yellowjellow. And refinery going down. So is this going to be 2 racks Reaper? We shall have to see. Waits for these barracks to finish. Now that last game, pretty good game, I think. bbreed went for his usual attack, and it didn't just outright kill yellowjellow. He was able to defend, and it was pretty back and forth until he finally succumbed to the second attack. But pretty action-packed game. Some miscontrol from yellowjellow losing all his mutas there, so He'll have to be more careful in the future. I don't know if we're gonna get there this game, as bbreed's starting to make Marines out of this proxy Rax. Getting a factory back at home. And when is bbreed gonna go? He has 4 Marines. And that's gonna be the magic number, I suppose. 4 Marines, 2 SCVs. Gonna try to make a bunker. And yellowjellow gonna evacuate his natural. And this one poor drone did not get the memo. Gonna lose its life. And this one as well. Not sure. Oh, maybe not. As the queen draws the fire. So the queen being a nice mother, saving that drone for now. But the first bunker is complete. An Overlord gonna go down. Once again, the Overlord positioning not the best. But bbreed gonna start working away at this natural base, and I think he will get it. It doesn't look like yellowjellow has any intention of saving it. He has gone for a roach warrant, so the idea is going to be most likely a Ravager bust to bust out of here. And that base gonna go down, and you gotta be careful of those broodlings. He does lose 2 Marines for free to those broodlings. No, only 1 Marine, but the damage has been significant. 1 drone, 2 lings, 2 overlords, and of course that hatchery. And I wouldn't mind seeing bbreed just go home from here. You're probably not going to be able to bust on into the main, and now Ravagers are ready. They're going to be able to bile down the bunkers eventually. So bbreed, well, he's choosing to stay. We'll see if that comes back to bite him. And ooh, losing the Ravager for free there. Bit of miscontrol once again from yellowjellow. Ravager is very expensive. They are 100 minerals and gas. Of course, the Roach is 75-25, and then to morph it into a Ravager is 25-75. But the strength of the Ravagers is you can just shoot out those biles and back away. And once again, losing more Ravagers for free there. You gotta be more careful. Does get that bunker, and now he's just gonna dive. No. Okay. And little bit of indecisiveness there, but does clean up the bunkers finally. And oh, it looks like bbreed wanted to come in with tanks, but they're just a little too slow. He should float these back home soon, but he's just gonna be producing Marines out of them for now. Gonna be lifting 1 off to scout, and that's a pretty good move. There's not too much out of the Zerg that can hit air right now. Of course, barracks are slow enough that they can get hit by biles, but it's going to take a while for Ravagers and Queens to clean that up. So, going to be able to fly that on and spot what's going on. And yellowjellow spending his time on those rocks. I would have preferred a counterattack, but I don't think that'll really be able to get too much done, as bbreed has 2 tanks already. Now, no wall over here in the natural. That could come into play, but this is not really enough Zerg to do anything. I suspect he'll take the first tank shots and have to run on home. Oh, loses another Ravager there. And bbreed, he has a Banshee cloak finishing up soon, but yellowjellow is already prepared with a Spore back at home. none in the natural though, so there could be some damage to be found there. And this Banshee gonna start shelling away at these roaches and ravagers that are just trying to go home. Gonna get that one roach, and this barracks made its way all the way around and into this spot. Gonna be producing Marines out of here. This Banshee once again being super annoying. Gonna cloak and look for some more damage. A backup Banshee is here as well. But there's a spore in the natural, so these Banshees will not be able to find too much damage. But what will find damage is this attack from bbreed. 4 tanks gonna be anchoring in this position, and a bunch of Marines as well. And oh, just look at how much damage the tanks do. And yellowjellow does not even want to try. He GG's out. Alright, welcome back. This is game number, what is it? 5 between the green Zerg yellowjellow. And this time swapping things up once again in the orange. Our turn player bbreed. bbreed showing in the last game that he is not just a one-trick pony, he has other builds in his arsenal. Went for a cheeky 2 racks that was able to kill yellowjellow's expansion and just got himself a significant lead, and the follow-up attack with the tanks was just too much. So yellowjellow this game gonna be going for a pool first. Pool first against Terran, I don't really know about that. It's not like such an early pool that any lings will get there before the wall is done. So perhaps just a safety pool. And we also don't see any gases. Gonna be going for that expanso. It does sound like just a safety pool. But once again, the early pool can't really do too much against Terran because they can wall up pretty quickly. So that's already a bit of a build order disadvantage from yellowjellow. The one thing that he does have going for him is he is going to have an earlier queen and lings. So I don't suspect the Reaper will be able to get too much done this game. However, the last few times we saw Reapers out of bbreed, he was able to get some damage. So, always something to keep an eye on. It's a Reaper moving across the map already, but lings and queen are already in position to defend. bbreed gonna be throwing down his expansion as well, and he has 2 gases this game, so are we gonna see some kind of battle cruiser or banshee opening this Reaper? Not gonna get any kills, just gonna do some scouting, and Oh, gotta be a little careful. And yeah, it's gonna get away. So no kills, but the scouting is valuable as well. Yellowjellow now gonna be feeling safe to go for his third base, and indeed we do see a fast starport over on the side of our Terran player. Tech lab on the factory. I don't think that's for any factory units. I think that's just going to be a swap. And proving me wrong, he does go for the siege tank right away. And this one Reaper did get a Ling, but forced to run away from the second one. Starport is complete, and are we going to see a fusion core? No, we're going to see a tech lab coming down on the starport. But no fusion core just yet, so it might just be a Banshee opening. So tech lab is done, and yes, it's going to be a Banshee cloak on the way as well. And let's see if yellowjellow is going to be able to scout this. He does have an overlord in position to fly in, but likewise bbreed has some marines in the main that could try to deny this scout. And behind us, double engineering bay. Now, one thing that yellowjellow does frequently do is get blind safety spores. And most of the time they are a waste of money. He doesn't really spot anything to prompt it, but he goes for them anyways. This game, it's going to pay off because we do know bbreed going for the Banshees. So same way it was a bit of a build order disadvantage earlier on, this is a bit of a build order advantage as he did get those blind spores, which will obviously help against these Banshees that are coming out. And where are they? The one has completed, just chilling over at the natural right now, so it doesn't look like bbreed has any intention to do some harassment with those. And he's still making his Banshees. Maybe just gonna incorporate them into his regular army. Now the two Banshees. I guess he was just waiting for two, perhaps? Gonna start flying across the map. And bbreed pretty safe on his side of the map. He has two siege tanks. He's got safety missile turrets. He is getting his third already. Some marines in the main as well to fend off any mutas, which we know are not coming. In fact, it's going to be hydralisks for the Zerg player. And he's actually going for missile upgrades, which I don't really agree with because you typically want the bulk of your army to be Ling Bane no matter what. And these Banshees are going to find some damage as kind of just hovering in between the bases, trying to stay away from the spores. So, some nice damage there. 3 and 3 kills. And as long as he keeps those alive, that's obviously worth it. Ling Hydra out of yellowjellow. Is he gonna get that queen? Oh no. Dives for the queen but loses both of his Banshees. That was definitely not worth it. Would be better to keep those alive. So yellowjellow avoids too much damage from the Banshees. He does clean up the Banshees, which is excellent. And he's sitting pretty on 3 bases. I would like to see a 4th soon. And oh, there it goes. Right on cue. But bbreed is on 3 bases himself. Sometimes we do see him stick on 2 bases too long. Not the case this game. And this is going to be quite a solid Terran army. Mostly Marines, some tanks, medevacs. And that's going to be a strong army. But yellowjellow going for lurkers. And lurkers are very strong themselves. Yellowjellow doesn't look like he wants to wait for lurkers though. He's just going for it. And bbreed is unsieged. These tanks are gonna get picked off before they even fire. And now the Hydras just have free reign. Gonna pick off so many Marines. This one tank on the high ground might be the Terran saving grace. Just gonna shell away. So yellowjellow gonna be forced to migrate over to bbreed's 3rd. And there are no tanks there, so he's going to be able to find a lot of damage. Could even get this 3rd if he clicks on it, and yes, he does. It goes down very quickly. And this is some excellent damage. You don't want to stay in the tank fire too long, so yellowjellow does back out of there, but that was excellent damage, getting a lot of workers, a lot of Marines, a couple of tanks as well. If we take a look at the units lost, definitely favoring the Zerg. They are kind of close in terms of the gas, but bbreed has lost that command center, 2 tanks, 2 Banshees. So yellowjellow should be feeling pretty happy with himself here. He has gotten his 4th base up. Not fully saturated just yet, but he is sitting on a 16 worker advantage. He has access to lurker tech now, and no hive yet on the way. That is one thing I would like to see, because the hive upgrades for the lurkers really allows them to be utilized to their full potential. But I don't know if yellowjellow has any plans to get there. Looks like he is moving out. Gonna try to end the game, I think, as he goes for a very scary Ling Bane Hydra lurker attack. And bbreed still trying to reestablish his 3rd and dust himself off after that pretty substantial loss early on. But yellowjellow might not give him the time to go for an attack once again. Using the banelings on the tanks, that's not the most effective use of them, but I think just right click on this base once again and go home. Gonna get some more army units for his troubles, but staying into tank fire just a little too long. Gonna take some unnecessary losses, but it's still worth it because yellowjellow is on 4 bases, and bbreed once again knocked back down to 2. And did have a backup command center, so going to be able to reestablish that. But yellowjellow is not even going all the way home. He's just backing up a little bit, making some more lurkers, waiting for his rally, and I think he's just going to go for it again. He's just going to send wave after wave until he breaks bbreed's back, and this might be the attack that does it, as we see yellowjellow at 185 supply. He checks that other 3rd base, sees nothing there. He's just gonna go for it. Doesn't even have the upgrades on his lurkers, but he doesn't care. Gonna just run in with his Ling Bane Hydras, and he's going for the natural this time. These tanks gonna be doing so much damage, but likewise are these lurkers, and GG gets called. Yellowjellow gotta find himself another map. Alright, welcome back. There's gonna be game number 6 between these two players. It is the green Zerg, yellowjellow, and the orange Terran, bbreed. So bbreed not going for his usual build last game. Went for banshees and it did not go his way. And yellowjellow with a very nice Ling Hydra lurker composition was able to just constantly batter bbreed until he could not hold on. So pretty nice play out of yellowjellow. Game number 6 now. Gonna be played on Beckett Industries. The shortest map in the map pool. Always needs to be said. And this time yellowjellow went for a scout. Does not want to fall into any shenanigans. Does spot that the barracks is indeed going down in its proper place. So again, the rush distance between these two bases, the natural of both players, is very short. It takes about 30, 31 maybe seconds to get from one base to the other. And that means it's going to favor the aggressive player just a little bit. Usually that's going to be bbreed if he decides to go for his Zerg killer build. And he's going for a Reaper once again. Factory going to come down behind it, and his natural expansion as well. You're going to see this zippy boy fly through those speed zones and make his way into the Zerg main. Yellowjellow going to be on top of it with his Zerglings. Does lose one, might lose the second. Does lose both Zerglings, but the Reaper might go down. Oh, that's not what you want to happen. So, pretty worth it for the Zerg. And denies the future scout. And these two drones with the gases, not sure why they did not return those gases, but some wasted gas there, not the end of the world. And yellowjellow gonna be going for his 2-ling harass, and not gonna find anything this time as they get blasted out of existence by this widow mine. This poor marine taking some friendly fire as well, down to 5 HP. He is bleeding inside this space zoot of his. And yellowjellow gonna be getting his 3rd base. Once again, these overlords just doing nothing. It's just so useless. These freaking useless, bulbous, floaty things. Ugh. Do some work. So it does start moving it somewhere. Don't know where. And yeah, once again, no vision from yellowjellow. His overlord positioning is like, why? Why here? Why here? I mean, I guess this could spot for any drops, but there are so many spots to put them in. I think this is high ground. This is high ground. And that is where you should be putting your overlords to spot things around the map. This is an okay spot. This, absolutely not. This is so useless. I'm gonna start working on these rocks. That's good in case bbreed goes for an attack at this angle. And yellowjellow needs to start spreading his creep outwards this way in case the attack comes from this side. And the base is not quite connected just yet, but bbreed going for a bit of an earlier attack than usual. Normally we see him move out around 6.5 minutes. This time 5.5, so this might just catch yellowjellow unaware. Once again, he has no map vision, so he does not know this is coming just yet. So he is trying to tech up to Hydras once again, and he's trying to get a lot of upgrades. +1 missile, pneumatized carapace, baneling speed, and that of course means that money is not being spent on army. So we'll see if this attack is going to be able to get any damage done. And first Widow Mine hit is good. Second Widow Mine hit, going to be able to soften up those queens. And now the rest of the Terran army moves in. yellowjellow evacuates his 3rd base very quickly. bbreed does not even want to waste his time with that base. Or maybe he does. Alright, let him back up and take care of it. I don't know. I think it would have been better to press the attack. He's giving yellowjellow time now to muster up more forces, but he does get the 3rd base, so that is pretty good as well. He's going to get these spawning Zerglings and Hydras. It's just free pickings. And now he is going to continue the attack, it looks like. Marauders in the front trying to soak up some baneling hits, and they do. Nice job there, and yellowjellow Needs to micro the banelings into the Marines. Does get some nice hits, but he does not have anything left. And bbreed gonna take it 4-2.